Hello, 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 everyone out there, and welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. I'm here with my beautiful friend, Nora Guerra. And guess what? You know how long I've known this woman? It's been a couple of years, and I had the pleasure of hanging out with her this past Sunday. And we had such an amazing time during our brunch celebrating our Libra women, their birthdays. And so it's super exciting to have her here because this woman is, okay, I'm going to say it. She's a fucking badass. She is a badass. And I love her to death, and you're going to love her too. Now, let me give you a little brief story behind Nora. I met Nora when we were attending BNI. BNI it's the acronym for Business Network International, and she was representing a certain company. I don't know if we should name that company now because she's now a badass at a really huge place, and I'll let her tell you all about it. But this is the thing about Nora. When I met her back then, always had this amazing poise, this dedication, this fearless attitude, and her pitches to the members were amazing and just unique, and really wanting you to buy a house right away and get that loan from her. Because seriously, even though I was not in the market, I'm like, oh, do tell me more. And so, oh my God, you have so much to say to us, Nora, and I don't want to waste any time, but welcome to the Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. I'm so happy to have you here.
I love it. Oh, Jackie, thank you so much. I mean, you know, not only do I, of course, adore you, hanging out with you on Sunday and all of our great friends really is what, you know, amigas are about, and uplifting each other, and, you know, anything any of us needs, we know we're just a phone call away. You know, when we are at highs, we all jump and, you know, cheer each other on. When we're on lows, we all grab each other and pick up our friends. And you really, you know, it's about growing ourselves. So it was so amazing. We were there probably 6 hours. So that should tell you the level of friendship that we have, the bond. And I appreciate you on those pitches, because that just means I'm a great salesperson too.
100%. I'm telling you, I wasn't in the market to buy a house or to get a loan, but her pitches were like top notch. And I was like, oh wait, tell me more about this. So it was just awesome. It was amazing. But God, you've gone a long way since these past couple of years. And so I really feel that our amigas would love to learn about you. What makes Nora, Nora?
Wow. You know, gosh, I mean, having an opportunity to talk about this is really impactful for me, you know, as part of my continuing growth. Let's start at the beginning. So I am a Latina. I'm a woman of color. I am, you know, a fearless woman in the housing industry, the national housing industry. But let's start at the beginning. I'm an immigrant. I was born of a Mexican mother, a German American father, and I was born in Mexico, Guadalajara, Jalisco. You know, I know, nunca nos rajamos, actually. But, you know, I came to America at a year old, and my parents very well knew, you know, our life was not going to be in Mexico, because my dad, you know, was really very Americanized. So, you know, my mom and I came to America with him, and really that's where my story begins. I remember as a young girl having you know, it was a multicultural home. My father of German Jewish descent, and my mother very Mexicana, very cultural, very much embedded in our Latino culture, you know, and really didn't want me to lose touch of that. You know, we're very light-skinned people. My brother has blue eyes. My children have colored eyes, you know, so my mom didn't want us to lose our raíces, really. Yeah. and that was so important to me. I remember as a young girl, I lived in Hacienda Heights, the most Anglo city that I had ever been to, ever in my, there wasn't another Latin family. And I remember, standing out, and I was like, wow, why am I so different? I was always different. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to make you laugh real quick. My mom thought it was the best lunch, to pack me in my lunch pail, birria with tortillas, cilantro y cebolla. And I would get to school and I was like, oh my God. And of course my Anglo friends were like, what is that? And it was a page right out of my Greek wedding. It was exactly like that. I felt like that. Like everyone's like, ew, what are you eating? What are you thinking of?
Right now, you're making me hungry. But
yeah, exactly, right? But let me tell you, it was killer birria. And I was like, who cares? And really, let me tell you, I always go back to, that's where my thick skin really started developing. I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. These people don't get me anyways. And, I'm different. So that's okay. So I started, my sister says this, I really have had a lot of self-confidence as a young girl. However, there's peaks and there's valleys. So unfortunately, my dad became an alcoholic. He was not an alcoholic. He became an alcoholic. Work events turned into socializing, turned into, I don't even know how, because I was so young, how it actually got out of control, but it did. So one day he just up and left the country and left us with a huge mortgage, left us with a mother who did not speak English. Her English was so limited. And I remember that I was about 15 years old when my mom handed me the phone and said, get on the phone, talk to this bank, and you need to, basically I was negotiating an exit strategy for her to lose her home because she couldn't afford it anymore. She had 2 and 3 jobs. My mom there's 3 of us, I was the oldest, and she didn't speak English. So I remember, and I'll never forget this, and this is really where my drive for housing comes, where I want every single person in America to be able to have the opportunity to own a home, is when I was translating for my mom and speaking to the bank and letting them know I'm only 15 years old, but if you explain to me what's happening, I'm going to, translate it for my mom. And I remember that, the bank was like, do you have anyone else we can talk to? Someone,
right?
And I was like, no. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm the only English speaker in this home. My brother and sister, but they were so much younger. But I remember that night, speaking to my mom and telling her, I never, ever want anyone to go through this, especially, a teenager who I knew nothing about finance. I knew nothing about homes. I knew nothing about mortgages, but I learned very quickly what it was about.
At the age of 15. Wow. This is incredible. Incredible.
So incredible. So I remember, the bank was telling us certain things, but I was like, no, we're not going to be able to, we're not able to leave this quick. So I was in the middle of a negotiation for my mom and, with the bank. And I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, but I was negotiating on behalf of my family. So fast forward, when people would ask me, what do you want to do when you grow up? I used to say, I want to help people get into homes. I want to help people, retain their homes. What does it entail? So fast forward, how about this? I started my mortgage career as a receptionist.
Nice.
At 19, I think I was 19. Wow. I was just a receptionist. That was it. And, I remember that they put me on this phone, and it was called the dialer back then. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I remember the boss said, she gave me like a week. She's like, if you can master this phone, like you've got this job. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to break into the mortgage industry. I want to get in. I want to make it happen. So I remember this thing had 50 lines, and I was like, I'm at 19.
Oh my God.
Jackie.
Wow.
I knew first of all, let's make this clear who I was. You guys, my mom kept me sheltered y media mensa. You know what I mean? Like to life. I knew nothing about nothing. I was so, you guys, I was very mature because, of course, life made me mature.
Yes.
I had a job at 14. I started helping my mom, you know, with rent, helping for my brother and my sister, just everything basically. So I was very mature, but I knew nothing about life. Let alone, I knew nothing about being a career woman, how to poise myself, how to carry myself, you know, how to kind of set myself apart so that maybe I can be considered for promotions. Nothing, for sure, nothing.
No.
So, you know, I went home, I took that manual, honey, I learned it backwards and forwards. That's how bad I wanted in on the mortgage industry. And then I remember the time that I said, oh my God, this is for me, is when, you know, like they say, con dinero baila el perro. Yeah, the paychecks got delivered.
Let's translate that in English, because I'm sure there are amigas out there that are not bilingual, which is okay. My daughter, I wish she knew Spanish the way I did at her age, but that's okay. You know, there's time to learn a language, but please translate.
There's a saying. Yeah, there's a Mexican saying, a Latino saying in our cultures, and it's like, hey, the dog dances with the money, right? Wave that money and we will dance. Well, guess what? It was payroll time. And I was assigned to hand out the paychecks. And I remember I was like, you know, for a 2-week period, someone was actually getting paid $17,000 back then in the 90s. I was like, what is this? Is it his yearly paycheck? Like I couldn't fathom.
Right. Like how does someone make $19,000 just like
Yes. That? I was like, no, what? No, wait. Okay. And then I remember I asked, well, what position does this person have? And at the time, he was of course, a loan officer, you know, doing mortgage loans. And I remember I said, okay, that's where I'm headed. And people looked at me like, what? You know, no way. Like, no, you're a receptionist. Well, Jackie, long story short, I was a receptionist for 1 month, got promoted from there. Ooh. But after, 1 month, I got a big promotion. I became, I remember, an assistant processor. But you know what, let me tell you, that entry and that story keeps me so grounded. I have a stapler that I have carried to every office, to every big, you know, company that I've gone to. And it was the same stapler that I had as a receptionist. And I used to look at that stapler and I was like, you know where you come from. Yes. You know how you started? You remember that book, that big, ugly book, you didn't even understand half of those words? That's where you come from. And that always kept me grounded. You know, no ego, no nothing. But along my journey, you know, through having these high level positions, you know, at big banks, I knew that I wanted more every time. Let me tell you, my resume, you know, has opened the doors for so many positions, and specifically my position now. You know, not too long ago, I'm going to share something. Imagine, from that receptionist girl, I was on a plane. I traveled the country, of course. I was on a plane and I was jumping on a flight, you know, just my regular job, because that's what I do. I travel the country. And I opened up the window. It was early in the morning. I'm dressed, you know, with my suit, and I'm ready to present to some politicians up in San Francisco. And I opened up that window.
When was this? When did
it was actually February of this year, right before COVID.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my God.
I know.
Wow.
It's incredible. And I remember I opened up that window and I looked out, and the first thing I told myself, it was just one of those days that you have these aha moments, these epiphanies.
Yes.
And I looked out that window and I remembered that stapler, and I remembered I was 19 years old and I was just a receptionist. And here, you know, I had a presentation for 2 major politicians making decisions on housing in my home state of California. And it was so impactful. and I was going to land and I was going to nail that presentation and I was going to make it happen. And they kept emailing me saying how excited they were. They were so honored that I was going to come and speak to them and the statistics I was going to share. And for a quick moment, as I lifted up that window on that plane, I was like, wow, how far have I come in 22 years?
Wow.
Now, yeah, I mean, it was, you know, can I tell you, I text my mom and dad while I was on that plane, and I just, like, I was practically crying. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, and they were like, you work so hard. You know, I'm going to call myself a full-blown workaholic.
You are.
I'm going to say
You
it.
are.
Yes,
You
I'm
are.
a full workaholic.
There's no BS in that one. I know that. She is.
Oh my gosh. Yes. But you know what? There's some people, and realize there's others like me out there. We just have so much gratification of the impact we have in our careers.
Amen.
You know, this morning, yeah, I presented on a national conference, and one of the messages on there, you know, on the chats as I'm presenting virtually now, was, oh my gosh, I can help so many people with the statistics and information you're giving us. Thank you so much. This is changing my life. So, you know, that is what makes me drive, you know, my family, my children. You know, I'm a mom of 3. I have a successful husband. You know, he is amazing in his own right, and I should be out there supporting him. But instead, I'll be honest, he is my biggest cheerleader. I mean, he's the one that's like, oh my gosh, you know,
beautiful.
Run,
that is so beautiful to have, because
yeah,
you know, you need the support. I mean, amigas out there, please, please, please. No one gets to where you are by yourself. No one.
that is so true.
And if they tell you, if these people who say that they got to the top of the mountain by themselves, they're lying to you.
Absolutely.
You need support, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your boyfriend or girlfriend, or whether it's your family, your friends. We all need support, because you don't get up there by yourself, period.
Yep.
Right?
So I had, you know, what I did early on, Jackie, because I think that's such a great point, I built my support system. There were naysayers out there, and they were like, what are you doing? Cut it out. Why are you working so hard? Let's hang out. Let's go have a cocktail. And I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, I was like, no, I'm not interested. And, you know, along the way, and it's very sad, I did lose a lot of friends, you know, and a lot of amigas who didn't get it. Like, they didn't understand my purpose. They didn't understand my struggle, you know, the reason or the why, or 15-year-old girl that was negotiating an exit strategy on her foreclosed family home.
Right.
So, you know, along the way, I knew I need to build, you know, kind of that safe, you know, support system. So it was my husband for sure, my mom, my dad, and really strong friends, but friends that were not just at my level in career, they were at my level in the drive. Like, I started surrounding myself with positive people. I started, you know, all the naysayers, they eventually dropped. They were sick and tired of all this like positiveness that was happening.
Of course.
You know, these, yeah, the promotion started coming, the accolades, and my friends, my naysayers were like, no, you know, like, who do you think you are, or what do you do? And I was like, you know, I have no ego. Like, I don't think I'm anybody. I want to progress. You know, I'm an immigrant. Like, why not? Why not me? You know, I see my colleagues who are non-minority succeeding and they're doing phenomenal, but why not me?
Right.
So, you know, when you're ready to make that next step, that support system is everything, especially someone like me. Yeah, I was traveling last year. I traveled 29 states in 1 year.
Wow.
And my kids are so successful in their own rights. I'm super organized. That's the way I make my life happen. My husband, my parents, they were all just ready to jump in and allow me to flourish and succeed. And let me tell you, for those of you that don't have that support system, create it. I created it. I had so many naysayers, you know, so I really just started making a group of support women, you know, and Jackie, we were talking on Sunday, my gosh, I mean, that's support. That is so
Yeah.
much love. There was so much love. I didn't want to
I
leave.
know. We're like, it was brunch and it was already getting to dinner.
Totally. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love my friends. It's
Oh my
so
God.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
know.
And you know,
Yeah, you need
that's what
support.
it is.
And I think a lot of amigas out there, I mean, some of them are probably saying like, I don't have the support. If you feel that you don't have the support, seek it out. Seek it out.
Yes.
Because it's not going to come to you.
Mhm.
It's not like inertia.
Right.
It's not going to come to you. You have
You're
to seek
so
it
right.
out. You have to seek it out. So I love that you're saying this and that you did your clearing, because in order to be expansive, you need to really clear out the weeds in your life. And that's what I'm saying. Those
Absolutely.
naysayers, those are the weeds. You needed to get rid of them. And amigas out there, please understand that yes, there's certain people that have to stay in your life because of blood or whatnot. But when you do have the ability and the wherewithal to do the clearing, do the clearing. Because I'm going to tell you, and I know Nora's going to back me up with this, that anything you have dreamt of can happen. You can manifest things, but you have to do that clearing. You have to, get rid of those weeds and find flowers and water to support and your life and those around you. So yes, I have a beautiful mentor. I love her to death. And she says, we're the average of 5 people. So choose wisely.
Absolutely.
Choose those 5 people, because those are the ones that you are going to mirror. You got 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, and in the middle. That's how.
Yep. I think that is so true, Jackie. And, you know, let's talk about mentors. You're going to have mentors, you're going to have champions, you're going to have supporters. In my life, my mentors never looked like me. They didn't understand my struggles. They were like, just go out there, make it happen. All is good. You know, I've always been a very driven individual. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I organize myself, my family before they even get up. I mean, that's my secret sauce. That's my secret to my success. People are like, how do you make it happen and still keep a home, you know, be an amazing mom? And as a matter of fact, today I have a pot roast, I have mashed potato, I have a pot roast in the Instapot, I have
so
mashed potato rolls.
What time is dinner?
Exactly. No, I've got this. And this is my second presentation of the day. And I've got a whole agenda, you know, all my desk duties and just things that I have to do, you know, that are hyper important. But really, I give myself time so that I'm not stressed and I don't carry that stress with my family, with my job. You know, I don't want to overbear people because I'm such a driven individual. So I wake up early, I manifest. I give myself a good 30 minutes of manifesting. And can I tell you, everything that I ever manifested has come to me. Mm-hmm. I would see myself in a position, in a high level housing position, at, you know, in Washington, D.C. And Jackie actually knows my newest goals, which are so scary. And I won't share them just yet because I'm still manifesting and I'm making it happen.
Yeah, but it's already done. It's already done.
Oh, absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, it's happened.
Yeah, it's
but,
happened. Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Let me tell you, nobody loves Nora more than Nora. I mean, I can't say this enough.
Yeah,
loving yourself. Self-love is so impactful. When you love yourself, you do carry yourself with poise. You carry yourself in a whole different way. You know, people are going to take notice. You know, I started dressing as if I was an executive in the mortgage industry at a very young age. And people would come in and take notice. And they were like, who is this? You know, what is she? Wow, what's her position? Trust me, I didn't even have the position then, but I emulated who I was going to become. I stand out because I love myself. I stand out. I take, you know, I share my beauty tips with my girlfriends, with my amigas, and I'm like, you guys, guess what I found? You know, new eyelashes, you know, new lipstick, you know, but that's because I love them, you know, and I want them to shine. And you know what? It's not about beauty. I've always said this. My good looks will get me in the door, but my brain and my hard work will keep me there always.
Right.
And that is true. You
That is
know,
right.
your presentation, especially as Latinos, you know, they don't expect this from us. They don't expect, you know, a very well, you know, educated woman to walk in the door of an executive boardroom and sit down right in the middle so that I can control the entire conversation and negotiation. They don't
Amen.
expect that from me.
Amen. Mic drop.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, mic
My
drop.
girlfriend.
Totally. I always say that.
Yeah.
I always say that when I walk in, I'm like, mic drop, my friends. I hope you came as prepared as I am, because I'm ready to negotiate and I know what my high, my mid, and my low will be. And they usually are not. So I'm like, all right, we're going to win today.
That's right.
But,
that's right.
you know, and as Latinas, that's the message I share. Love you. Yes, you're different. Different is amazing. Different is beautiful. I was sharing with Jackie, I graduated from a women's multicultural executive leadership program.
I'm glad
so I entered the program.
Because I was like, when are we going to get to that? Because this is amazing.
Yeah.
So this program is from USC, my alma mater, right on. So I got to pitch that.
Exactly. Honey, not only are you a badass lawyer from USC, actually. Yeah, so it was a Marshall School of Business, USC sponsored program with Dr. Yasmin Davids. She's phenomenal. And really it's the psychology, you guys, which is what I needed. You know, I had gotten to a plateau in my career, and most of us probably have. We get to a plateau where it's like, I can't get to that next level, but why? Well, I needed the psychology. I was kind of getting in my own way, but I didn't realize that. So I joined this program. I kid you not, changed my entire life. I learned really how to negotiate as a female, not as a male in my industry. I learned how to pivot and really build a bridge, you know, with my colleagues, with my competitors, how, you know, these executive men are executing in their business and succeeding. But why are we not as women? There's only 1% of CEO women in our nation. And that can't be it. And by the way, it's less for minority women.
That's right. That's right.
I know. So immediately I was like, what? Oh no, new goal, you know, and so I took this program as serious as I could have. I was their best student. And when it was time for graduation, I received top honors and I graduated with the toppest, I mean, the big honor of the night, which included being highlighted by Senator Harris and Dominica Lynch, you know, president of the Latino Caucus. And, you know, I won the Dr. Davids Leadership Award. And why did I win that? You know, it's really because I took this program so seriously, because I take my career so seriously. But this program didn't just help my career, it helped my family too, my family life. It helped me turn off the laptop and be a mom.
Yes.
It helped me that when I'm dropping off my kids, you know, in my back then SUV, I could, you know, not just mute them and say, get out of the car. I'm on a conference call and I'm speaking. You know, it taught me how to show up and how to show up at work, how to show up at home, you know, and how to give quality time to everyone who needs it in my life. Like I said, I love myself, I love my career, but others needed me. So now, you know, of course, during this program, I applied to my dream job. I said, you know what? Now is the time. I am going to make an impact and I'm going to make it nationally. And I'm going to go for the biggest position that I've ever dreamt of.
Oh my God. Amen to that. You know what, Nora? you give me goosebumps, because when I met you, I knew something. I knew this woman is going to go super far. You wait and see. And I'm so happy that you have this really amazing position. So tell us what it is, because inquiring minds want to know.
Yes, absolutely. So I actually report to Fred Mac out of DC. I'm an affordable lending manager. And what that is I'm a keynote speaker. I work with our senior chief economist. I work with our data analyst, and I present on housing trends, macroeconomy. I help put programs together, to help all of our communities all over the nation. So I go and I fly the country, typically outside of COVID, and I do these big keynote presentations at big national housing conventions, at minority conventions. And really, I work with the CEOs of every bank, lender, and lending institution in America. So talk about being able to give, a big impact, if you will.
Yes.
And I carry that.
Not too shabby, since knowing you and from BNI and for a local mortgage company. So wow,
Yeah.
this is fantastic.
And absolutely. So just remember, I carry that 15-year-old girl who negotiated that exit strategy. I carry that receptionist with her little stapler.
Yes.
I carry those two girls in me. And when I make an impact, or when a housing policy or a product change, or my feedback, my reports, my analytics make impacts in our industry, that's when I smile. That's when I'm like, wow, how did I get here? How did I get here? Yeah, but going back,
my dear, you manifested that.
I sure did. No, absolutely. And you know what? Let me tell you, with that, it doesn't just happen. I prepared myself. My resume, really opened the doors for that position. It really basically said, she's ready, she's prepared, but I had to show up and show prepared. I had to, come off as the top candidate. There was 125, candidates for the position. I believe there was like 26, face-to-face interviews. And my now boss told me that as soon as I presented and interviewed, she stopped the interview process, which is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. Oh my God. I got to give it up to you because, being on a national platform, that takes a lot of guts, a lot, and overcoming fears. Because some of us amigas would have like, oh my God, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. But don't stay there, ladies. You got to get rid of that. Fear is just an opportunity on the other side. And look at Nora now. That's right.
And I'll be honest with you, I had never been a keynote speaker. You saw me. I mean, I used to present, and I thought I presented okay, but a keynote speaker at some of these conferences with over 10,000 attendees and viewers, and now, the viewership is even larger now, as I'm presenting, in this kind of like, virtual environment. Right. And, but remember, it all goes back to how confident are you? How well prepared are you? And how much you believe in yourself. And like I said earlier, no one loves Nora more than Nora. And can I tell you, it's a type of love where you want to progress. You want to help her. You want to grow her. You want to see her succeed. You want to see her shine. You want all these wonderful things for yourself. And really say them out loud if you have to. If you're just like, I'm not one of those people, trust me, neither was I. And furthermore, I was not even a vulnerable person. I probably could have never told you my story 3 years ago. I would be too embarrassed. This immigrant girl with an alcoholic father, he left the country, he left us, who is she? That's embarrassing. I never want to talk about that. But you know what? It is who I am. And I'm so proud of it because I wouldn't be able to carry myself, in this manner, and sometimes it's, it does, sometimes it's like, wow, why did I have to go through all that? But, as I now tell my kids, and they have a different life, they have a different upbringing from me, and I have made such a beautiful, platform. They're financially very literate, which I was not. My mom, unfortunately, came to America and all she knew to do was to be a workhorse. My children are now financially literate, and I'm building generational wealth as a minority woman for my children, for my generations to come, which I think is a huge conversation that we need to have as women. We need to share, believe it or not, women, we need to share, number one, how much do you make? How much do you want to make? How much would you love to make? Negotiate your pay. When you get a job, can I tell you at Freddie Mac, I negotiated my pay 5 times. I would not accept the offer until they gave me what I knew I was worth.
That's
and
right.
I'll tell you, it was incredible.
Amen.
Incredible.
Amen. Yeah. Because many women would be like, oh, okay, I'll just take that.
Nope.
But in your gut, you're saying I'm worth more. Speak up.
Absolutely.
Speak up.
Ladies, can I tell you, you are worth your own negotiation. Prepare yourself. Yeah. I went out and I saw how much is my competitor male making in my position. And can I tell you, I am so proud to say I negotiated a salary higher than my male counterpart.
There you
go. So if anything, go gusto. What can they say? Oh, okay, go back and negotiate.
Right.
Yeah, go back and negotiate some more. So really, prepare yourself, know your worth. If you think, what, I'm at this low level position, guys, I started off as a receptionist. Any lower than that, I think I even made like $8 an hour. It was like, oh my gosh, it was so bad, but again, that girl, I carry her in me. So she's still in there. That $8 an hour girl is in there, and, now I get to shine, and really, this year when my husband and I were filing our taxes, he gave me a big high five, which is huge because he's an executive for a big bank. And he said, I'd like to tell you, you're almost going to beat me this year. I think you are. And I was like, no, this is amazing. This is what I want. You guys, why not, right? Yes. Why not?
And you need to have a spouse who doesn't feel emasculated because the woman
completely
is more money. Forget that. Be with someone who respects you no matter what.
No, absolutely. Beautiful. That's so important. Yeah. You know what? Like I said, who you build around you is really, these are the people that are going to affect you in your highs, your successes, your wins. Take a look. Who is cheering for you and who's sitting back and who's silent? Who's not saying you're amazing, you're a badass, you're handling your shit.
That's right.
Look at those people, and those are the ones that you may not need around. I mean, and it's not about, just like exit strategies with everyone. It's really about you focusing in and realizing, I have and these are the ones that are going to help me get to the next level. And that's what you need. You need that community. And, I have built it. It's taken a really long time. And like I said, really nice peaks, but really low valleys. But I learned from all of, the falls, you fall, but you get right back up. And let me tell you, I have a saying that I say to myself, you will fall 9 times, but damn it, you will get up 10 times stronger. I mean, and that's how I come back. Let me tell you.
Oh my God.
I come back and I scare myself.
You're going to go in the boxing ring and start throwing down. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, and don't think, just because I'm in this amazing position that this is it. Absolutely not. I shared with Jackie and, this is your community. This is where you should be vulnerable and be safe. And I said, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so scared. I told her on Sunday, I'm so scared. I'm working on these goals and these goals scare me so bad.
Well, she has to do it because
I know.
It scares her.
And I shared it with them and it's like, they were so loving, so embracing. Nora, you can do this. If anyone can do it, it's you, and I needed that. Kind of that love, that embrace, and I needed these women, and my girlfriends are, they are all successful because we help each other. One of my girlfriends actually at the beginning of the pandemic is also in the housing industry, does something different. And, I follow her on social media, of course. And I saw she was like really hitting the streets. This girl was like such a hustler. And let me tell you, not only do I love Jackie, we love and adore her. Her
Oh,
name is
Veronica.
Veronica Franco.
I
For
knew it.
all of your title needs, please go to her. She is
Yeah,
the most beautiful, amazing friend you can, I mean, she's amazing.
yeah.
And, you know, in my position, supporting her would have really just made an impact for her. So I picked up the phone and I said, Amiga, here's what's going to happen. I have macroeconomy, I have housing economy, I'm a keynote presenter. I'm not, this has nothing to do with my work because I only work with, you know, big CEOs or, you know, other, you know, entities in the housing industry. I go, but guess what? I'm going to present for you as many times as you need me until you shine. And she was like, what? And I told her, yeah. How many times do you want me to present for you a month? And she was like, stop. She's like, friend, serious. And I was like, yes. So you guys, let me tell you, I would get all dulled up and I would have the best, you know, data and presentations to make her look just like this uber title person, just like, who is she? How did she get these speakers? I started getting just every relevant topic that her clients wanted. And I said, if I succeed, my friends succeed. If I succeed, other women succeed. You know, you have to know that when you get to a certain level, you grab everyone's hand and you drag them with you. Why not? You know, the best thing about friendship, Jackie, and I say this about us, you know, you do not put yourself with friends that are jealous. You do not put yourself with friends that are going to bring you down, that don't want you to succeed. So of course they're not going to help you. You know, build this community of women that love you, adore you, can't wait to help you, can't wait to make you shine. Grab every single one of your friends and drag them. You succeed, go call them. Hey, guess what? I'm doing this. How can that help you? And that's what I've done. I was telling Jackie before we started recording, I have 11 mentees right now. And they're just women that have reached out to me and said, you know, can we coach? You know, can you coach me? Can you help me? And I've said, absolutely. And you guys, I have the craziest schedule. Jackie knows it. It's insane. I work East Coast hours plus West Coast. I mean, it's crazy. But, you know, supporting other women, especially in our minority demographics, that is so important. I can't say that enough. I want to share that message, if anything. You know, build your community. It may start with 2 people. It started with 2 people for me, you know, and it was probably my mom and dad. How embarrassing. But, you know, you start from somewhere, you know, you start from somewhere and then add another person, bring another person along. And then all of a sudden, some of your besties are attorney women running podcasts that are called Handle Your Shit, Amiga. Right? I love it.
You know, I mean, it's a quite a different place for the both of us since we met, and I'm so encouraged by what you're doing, because I can just only see you even bigger than where you are right now. You are going to flourish. You will end up being part of the Department of HUD. I mean, really. I mean, I can see that. Like, I can totally see you in that position as the director, and I don't have any doubts or quorums. I mean, I know Nora, and I know that she is a capable woman, a very driven woman, and I know, amigas out there, if you have this outlandish idea, do it. If it scares you, do it even more.
Heck yeah.
I always say, what's on the other side of fear is opportunity. And you're never going to find out. If you quit, you're never going to find out. So don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You know what? Here you have this badass Latina, Nora. Who knew that this 17-year-old with her stapler was going to land a dream job on a national level? Who knew? But she manifested that. So you, amigas, can do that as well. I love you. I love this. And I know you just keep getting accomplishments and accolades. I know this year you received an amazing award, right?
did 2020 Latina of Influence for national housing efforts, national housing education, and really just bringing to the forefront. Right now, my big topics, I work with this Harvard study on millennials, on Latinos in housing, African American homeownership, and the AAPI community. So that is my big, baby right now. It's the people that need our help. They're the ones with the generational wealth gap. They're the ones that need financial education. We really have to educate them. And of course, my Gen Zers are coming, to the housing market. So that's my new project in 2021. But if anyone's interested in any of my work, my published work, if you just want to shout out, I have a LinkedIn profile under Nora Guerra. I work for Freddie Mac, like I mentioned, and, I'm more than happy to just chat with you and, share some of my tips or anything, for Jackie's viewership.
Ah, I love that, Nora. And those that are listening out there, please, please believe it when she says this, because she is the real deal. She is. She's the real deal. So please, please,
Aww.
please reach out to her. Now, and all of her information will be in our show notes so rest assured you can get in contact with Nora. But before, my love, before we finish this conversation, even though I could, you know me, you and I can like talk forever and ever and ever. Like
Oh,
we're equals.
we'll go for hours. I will talk about everything. Yeah, moms. We'll talk about fun.
Everything.
We'll talk about
Everything.
fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So before we leave, I would love for you to share one or two hacks, tips on how an amiga can handle her shit.
Absolutely. So first of all, create some goals. I'm extremely goal oriented. And a lot of people for so many years, my mentors would say, what is your 1 year, your 3 year, and your 5 year goal? Okay, throw that out the window. No, I don't think so. Okay, because can I tell you, the secret to my success is I execute.
Mm-hmm.
1 year, 3 year, 5 year. No, can I tell you, we're in the midst of a pandemic. Okay, don't let that hold you back. We have a strong economy. We have, there's a lot going on, but can I tell you, you are strong. You can make anything happen. I was telling Jackie, some of my goals are during this pandemic, so that's even scarier, but I'm making it happen. So set your goals. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? You want to be the best mom? Perfect. Let's talk about that. You want to be, you want to have your boss's job? Perfect. What is it going to take? Start writing that out. What does that look like? That's exactly what I do is I write out a goal and I really give myself a roadmap. Okay, Nora, this is what you need to do. You need this license. You need this education. You need the certification. You need to know these type of people. And this is what's going to get you there. And that's really worked out for me. That's one. Number two, again, I'm going to say this 1,000 times. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. Execute for yourself, for your family, for whatever is important to you. My why, I shared my why with Jackie not too long ago. And I said, Jackie, my gosh, my why blows me away, and it's my children. You guys, I am so proud. I'm such a proud mother. I was telling Jackie, my daughter started seeing a change in me, and I started taking her to events with me and she traveled with me. And I have a senior, a 17-year-old daughter who just turned 17 and she's tiny little petite thing. And she's graduating high school early and she's already been attending college for an entire year. So please, love yourself enough to impact others. Love yourself. Grab the other women, drag them along like me and Jackie and our circle of friends have. It's so rewarding to be a friend that impacts another friend. It's so rewarding to impact your family, your children, yourself. Impact yourself. Love yourself enough to impact yourself. Be your own hero. And I feel that I am, and I hope my children think I'm their hero too, but outside of that, those are the two.
I bet they do, Nora, because you radiate and your energy, everything that you do, you give 1,000%. And that's the thing, amigas. We need to give 1,000% every day, every minute of our lives. When we're tired, you know what? That's when you got to do it even more.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
more.
When you have problems, when you have naysayers, let me tell you, you don't have to prove them wrong. Prove yourself right. You know, that's the first thing I do. I mean, you know, it's sad to see, you know, other people or other women, you know, kind of like pull you down or want to kind of say like, what do you know, remember in my career, people will be like, what are you thinking? Like, why would you think that? Why do you think you can do that? And I was like, wow, you know,
Right.
I can assure you, and Jackie and I just talked about this story. There's people who are reaching out to me now and they're like, oh, you're so amazing. You're so wonderful. Remember me? And I'm like, wow, you know, you were one of my naysayers. I don't tell them that, but of course, you know, and it's pretty amazing to know, wow, look at, you know, look how far I've come. And I did reach that goal. As a matter of fact, I've surpassed it probably 7 years ago. So believe in yourself. Because of this pandemic, don't let that hold you back. Make it happen even more. Look forward to 2021 and say, I made 2020 the worst year in history in America.
Yeah.
I made something of myself. I changed. And, you know, that's all it's about.
Amen to this. Oh my God. I love you so much. And amigas out there, you know what?
Oh.
Remember this. Remember what Nora was saying, that she carries her stapler with her to remind her where she came from. So don't forget that part, because we have to be reminded of where we came from, because that's when you start celebrating all the blessings, everything that is coming your way. So with that, I am so honored to have you here, Nora. Thank you so much for your time, because I know
my friend.
it is.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh no.
I am so proud of you. You wanted, you know, something amazing, and you went out and you made it happen, and you're continuing to make it happen. I told our friend Veronica, you know, I'm so proud of her. You know, Jackie's amazing. And she's like, isn't she amazing? I go, dude, she's amazing. You know, I'm so proud of your podcast. You guys, you know, please, whoever's listening, if you love Jackie's podcast, can you please leave her an amazing review? I was reading her reviews and I was like, Jackie, you're touching so many women. I love this. As soon as she asked me, you know, to be a part of it, I'm like, heck yeah. Are you kidding me? This is an honor. So, you know, continue being amazing, Jackie. Make an impact with women. You know, this is you. This is your role. This is what you're meant to do. You are meant to impact so many women out there. Who knows, even men, maybe men even listen to this too.
Oh, no, they do. I've had some men, I'm like, oh,
Really?
amigos too. También
Amigo, handle it.
Yeah, you can handle your shit too. Well, my love.
I love it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. I am so honored. I'm so honored.
Oh.
And I can't wait for us to have another conversation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Everyone out there, amigas, you heard Nora. Go and handle your shit.
Big time. Go handle it big time.
That's right. Amen to that. Thank you.